Welcome to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. Later in the show, Kent Ware and Max Reed will tell us about the American Indian Veterans Memorial Organization. And host Lanasha Pawadi will chat with Milford Calamity, a self-taught Navajo silversmith and owner of Milford Calamity Jewelry. But right now, Susan Levy talks with Dr. Jennifer Veaco, family practice physician at Native Health, about Women's Health Month.
May is Women's Health Month. This observance aims to highlight women's health issues and priorities, encourage women of all ages to prioritize their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Here to tell us more is Dr. Jennifer Veaco, family practice physician at Native Health. Hello, Dr. Veaco, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, we're super excited to have you in the studio today. So before we get started, please tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a practicing family medicine doctor here at Native Health. I've been here for over 2 years now. I mainly work out of the Central Clinic, but you can find me at West on Wednesdays.
And I know you're also, so you're an MD, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're also...
I'm also a board-certified lactation consultant.
That's what I thought. Okay. IBCLC?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so what medical services does Native Health offer?
So we see all ages, from newborns to seeing our elders here in the clinic. We do preventative medicine. We see people for sick visits. And then also we do chronic care management. So diabetes, high blood pressure, we can manage those things.
And then we have walk-in, right?
Correct, yes.
At all locations?
Yes.
At Central, Mesa, and then NHW, which is at Dunlap and 24th Avenue.
That's correct.
All right. So I know May is Women's Health Month. Specifically, what women's health services are offered?
Well, so we try to really do some preventative medicine for our women. I recommend scheduling a well-woman exam, and we can discuss, what we should be screening for at that age. We can order mammograms. We can do a pelvic exam with a pap smear. We can discuss birth control options or sexually transmitted infection screening, those types of things.
So you do everything here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we also do prenatal care, too.
Oh, wow.
So pregnancy testing, and we have a nurse midwife who works here on Thursdays.
And that's at the Central location?
Correct, yes.
But you can do a well women's exam at any location, correct?
Mm-hmm.
With all the providers?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So is it really important to stay on top of yearly checkups, or is it okay to postpone them?
Well, I'm a primary care doctor, so of course I'm going to say get a PCP. I really am. I'm passionate about primary care and trying to screen for things, find things early, and treat those things so that they don't become further issues. So specifically for Women's Health Month, we can discuss ordering mammograms to screen for breast cancer. Also, we can do pap smears, so that is a screening test for cervical cancer.
So I guess that means, yes, you should do it every year.
Yes.
Reading between the lines.
Yeah.
All right, so don't put those things off before they become bigger. So what are 3 really easy steps to at least start on the path to good health and wellness?
Mm-hmm. Well, probably moving more. And I know that can be difficult for a lot of people, especially getting into the summertime when it's getting more hot here in Arizona. But trying to do some morning walks or evening walks is awesome. Trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables. So a general rule of thumb is at least half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. And of course, the third is making sure you have a primary care provider.
Okay, and how about drinking water? Important in Arizona?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and not so much sports drinks or energy drinks? More water?
More water. Of course, if someone's exercising in the heat, you are losing electrolytes, so it's important to have healthy snacks like fruit or some vegetables. But some sports drinks are okay. Other sports drinks, energy drinks, can have a lot of sugar, so something to be aware of.
Okay. And good nutrition, you said half your plate should be fruits and vegetables, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know sometimes when you come back and you've had abnormal PAPs, that oftentimes, sometimes it resolves, sometimes there's other treatments, but it's important to get a yearly pap smear, correct?
Yeah. And if we do find some abnormalities with the yearly exam, we can always refer out to our OBGYNs.
Okay. How old should you start getting a pap smear? So if you're sexually active, younger, should you? Or should you wait till you're 18?
Pap smears are recommended to start at the age of 21 if someone has been sexually active.
Okay.
And then they go up until the age of 65, assuming that they've been normal before that.
Okay. And then also mammograms, what's the age to get those started?
Usually for the average person, starting mammograms at the age of 40 is what's recommended. If someone has a family history of breast cancer, then we can certainly discuss if someone needs to be screened earlier.
Okay, and then you would send a referral out for them to get a mammogram at a place.
Yes.
And I know there's a rise in syphilis right now within the American Indian population. Are you seeing a lot of that, and are there symptoms of syphilis? Or what are the symptoms of syphilis?
So, yeah, we are diagnosing that, and we do have treatment available here. It is a blood test to be checked for syphilis. And the symptoms for syphilis, sometimes people will have an ulcer in the vaginal area when they're first exposed, but not always. And so sometimes people won't necessarily know they have it. And so that's why we can certainly do a blood test to screen for sexually transmitted infections, because sometimes these infections don't present with a lot of symptoms.
So what happens if you don't get a blood test and you do have syphilis? Is that bad?
It can certainly worsen and have more symptoms in the long run. So, I've seen patients needing to go to the hospital for syphilis symptoms, and we definitely don't want that.
And what happens if you get pregnant and you have syphilis? Is that harmful?
It can be harmful for yourself and the baby. We do screen for syphilis often in pregnancy. It's what's recommended.
Okay. And you are seeing more cases of it?
Yes, unfortunately so. It's we're seeing more of it, and we're treating more of it because of that.
Okay. So important to get checked. Sounds like it's pretty easy with just a blood test.
It's pretty easy to be checked, and also if we find it and there hasn't been a lot of symptoms going on, it's very easy to be treated. It's just going to be some penicillin injections.
Okay. Now, do you have to report that to the state? Is it confidential? And do they track those partners, or is it just come in and get screened in?
So the Maricopa County Health Department is tracking these cases along with some other communicable diseases, sexually transmitted infections, to try to monitor for outbreaks and whatnot. So we do report it to the Maricopa County Health Department.
Okay. So when should somebody make an appointment to see you or to see another provider versus just doing a walk-in? So if I have an ear infection, is that a walk-in appointment? And what determines when I really should make an appointment and not just pop in and for a 10-minute visit?
I think that if someone is wanting to have a preventative medicine appointment, an annual exam, or an appointment to address their chronic conditions, say diabetes, high blood pressure, that kind of thing, it will be more preferred if they make an appointment so we can get things ready and organized to have that full annual exam appointment. Now, if someone is having any type of sick symptoms, that would be a perfect time to do a walk-in appointment. Ear infection you mentioned, urinary tract symptoms, cough, cold, fever, we can certainly try to see people the same day and get those illnesses resolved. So those are good for walk-in appointments.
Allergies too?
We're seeing a lot of that, yeah. And people are wondering, do I have a cold? Do I have allergies? Do I have a virus? And so certainly you can come in for a walk-in for that as well.
It's like it's never going to end this year with the allergy season, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the Palo Verdes are very yellow with pollen, so that's kind of the culprit there.
There's a lot of stuff. Hopefully just a few more weeks. All right. Well, I really appreciate your time this morning. I know you've got patience, so thank you for coming in and answering all these questions.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Coming up, Kent Ware II and Max Reed will tell us about the American Indian Veterans Memorial Organization. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, WIC, and wellness services for the urban Native American community. For more information, call 602-279-5260. 888-888-6262 or visit our webpage at nativehealthphoenix.org.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm host Lanasha Pawadi. The American Indian Veterans Memorial Organization, also known as AVMO, was created to establish a memorial to honor the American Indian veterans who served our country and to provide a place for veterans, their families, and survivors to gather and pay tribute to both living and deceased veterans. The memorial will be located in Still Indian School Park in Phoenix. On the phone to tell us more are Kent Ware II, president of AIVMO, and Max Reed, AIVMO board member. Hello, Max and Kent, and welcome to our show.
Hello. Good morning. Hello, Lanasha. Thank you for having us here.
Before we get started, can you both tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Okay, yes. I'm a enrolled member of the Kiowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and I'm a member of the Kiowa Gourd Clan and a member of the Arizona Territory Gourd Society. I'm also president of American Indian Veterans Memorial Organization.
And myself, I was a businessman and born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, and had the business for over 40 years there, and just retired a few years back.
Thank you both for that introduction. Can you tell us or give us an overview of the American Indian Veterans Memorial Project?
Yes, I will do that. My father, Kent Ware Sr., was a tech sergeant. He was a Kiowa Black Leggings Warrior Society member, and he was a tech sergeant in World War II U.S. Army Air Corps, operating the European Theater of Operations. He was a 8th Air Force and 409th Bomb Squadron, and he was shot down over Strasbourg, France. He and members of the American Indian community from around Phoenix formed the American Indian Veterans Memorial Foundation in 1996 for the purpose of building a national memorial for American Indian veterans. And Indian people have always held their own warriors in high esteem, and the foundation was created to share that with non-Indians and let them know what our veterans mean to us. But before this project could be completed, two things happened. My father passed away, and a National American Indian Veterans Memorial was built in Washington, D.C. So in 2017, a new board was reestablished, and we hired a Navajo architect, Richard Begay, to redesign the original memorial, which was drawn up in 1996 by Dennis Namkina, a renowned Hopi artist, veteran, and Phoenix Indian School graduate.
And can you tell us what is the goal of the group working on this project?
The goal of this group is to raise the funds needed by the end of this year and to begin building by 2025. To date, we have raised 80% of our goal, and we're looking to raise the remaining $200,000 needed by the end of this year.
And can you tell us about the proposed project objectives and timeline?
Yes. The memorial will be built on a knoll, which is west of the Hummingbird Lake there on the Still Indian School Park. The structure will symbolize peace and healing and will offer a timeless visibility to honor all American Indian veterans of all wars from tribes throughout Arizona. And we have a focal point of two upright steel structures which represent eagle wings that carry the spirit of the warriors from day to night. There will be a low wall which will ascend to the platform at the top of the knoll on which the monument sits, and will open up into a circle which represents unity and incorporates the elements of water, fire, earth, and wind, which are important in American Indian culture.
Is this organization a nonprofit?
Yes. The Internal Revenue Service has designated us as a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit organization. So anybody who contributes to our organization can use this as a tax deduction.
And can you tell us why you guys chose this location?
Well, the reason this location was selected because it was a site of the former Phoenix Indian School. And we thought that originally when this was incorporated, that we could reach people who attended the Phoenix Indian School and who served in the military or had family members who did so. And warriors like Ira Hayes went to the Phoenix Indian School, and many other people that we think that should be recognized. And so that's why we chose the Phoenix Indian School site, or it was chosen originally in 1996, excuse me.
And why do you think it is important to raise funds for this memorial?
Well, the reason why that we believe that the funds are necessary is to the idea came from Native American community. The design had input from the Native American community. The Native community deserves to have this memorial to keep the military service heritage alive for all future generations, especially our young people. They know very little about our warriors. And we're also so close to reaching our financial goal. We are asking that you help us get there by making a donation in any amount at our website, which is aivmoarizona.org.
And to clarify further, is this memorial for Arizona Native American veterans, or is it for all Native American veterans?
It is for all Native American Indians, also for the Arizona Native Americans, but it's also for all military veterans that served our country.
For Arizona and elsewhere, but emphasis will be on Arizona.
And who are your partners in this project?
Okay, our partners in this project is the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Department. They are working closely with us on this project. We have a memorandum of understanding with the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Department, and the agreement is to establish an American Indian Veterans Memorial at the Still Indian School Park. That's why we have the site there, and we have a sign out there designating that. The city has reviewed and approved the design phase for the memorial and will continue to have ongoing discussions with us on this design.
Will this memorial be used for additional events?
Yes. We will have, throughout the year, we will have storytelling to be used to educate visitors about the personal history of our veterans. And each year, a special ceremony will be held at the site to honor all American Indian veterans.
I noticed also on your website you've shared soldier stories. Can you tell us a little bit about those stories that you have shared?
Some of those soldier stories are soldiers that are from Arizona primarily. And so we've featured code talkers, who are, as everyone knows, how important the code talkers were, especially during World War II. But they've been code talkers since World War I. And so I think it's important to recognize and honor all of those soldiers and veterans. We have one from Colorado River, and he has 3 Purple Hearts in the Vietnam War. And I think they have a special group of those who received 3 Purple Hearts. So we've had those, and we've had featured one Navajo, and he was the first Native American to be in the Arizona State Legislature. We think it's important to honor that as well as him being a veteran. So we think that we try to highlight those people who have these special attributes that they achieved during the war. And my father is also on the site as well. So since he was a founding member of this organization. So that's how we've used that site and those photos to attract people's attention so they would look at our memorial and maybe generate enough interest so they would contribute to the development of it.
Wow. And how can families or veterans get involved with this organization if they are not already involved?
Okay, well, for them to get involved in this project, there are 3 ways that they can get involved. Through our website, and our website is aivmoaz.org. And also at our website, we have just set up a GoFundMe account in order for people to contribute. And they can access that contribution through our website. So the second one is follow us on Facebook. And Facebook, you can reach us at aivmoaz.com. And the third way you can contact us is at aivmoaz@gmail.com. And you can also purchase a brick, which would be used to line the walkway leading up to the circle. So those are ways that people can contribute and be a part of our memorial. It's important to know that the money raised for this memorial goes into a building fund. We have no overhead costs. We have no rent, employees, or supplies. So just want people to know that. We're all volunteers.
Can you tell us more about your logo for the American Indian Veterans Memorial Organization?
See, our logo was designed by Dennis Numkina, and again, it represents the eagle wings on the side of the logo. That represents the eagle wings, and and I think that's the main part of that logo. How important eagle wings are to us, because it sends messages up into the air to the Creator, to our Creator, and let our prayers can float around with the wind and be sent elsewhere as well. And it's the spirit of all of this and the symbolism of that and what that means. And that's the main thrust and gist of that logo.
And what are the needs of your target population?
I can answer that question. The needs is to help our people, especially the young ones, remember American Indian veterans who served our country, because very little is known about our warriors. For example, more American Indians died in combat than any other military group. Also, American Indians have fought for the United States in every major war. The contributions of our veterans made in the service to the United States military needs a visible reminder to all Americans that American Indians have done their fair share for our country in its time of need. We also have approximately, since World War I, approximately 183,000 Native veterans, and up to present day, there's 24,000 men and women Native veterans active duty as of today.
Are there any other resources that you share with Native American veterans and their families who are involved with the memorial?
I think that other than the ones that we've talked about, going to our website, our best place is for them to access our website, as we said, at aivmoaz.org. That will get them to our website, and they can get the resources there at our website.
Do you want to share any other maybe family stories?
First of all, my father, as I said, was shot down in World War II near Strasbourg, France, right on the border of Germany and France. He flew 33 missions over there in Europe. Usually in 25, they send you home. But he flew 33, and then when he was shot down, a 10-year-old son of a French farmer saw him land. All of 9 members parachuted out of their plane, and they all survived. And so this French farmer's son went and got his father, and his father came with a wheelbarrow, and they picked my father up and wheeled him away, and 3 minutes later the Germans were there looking for him, and the Germans never did find him, but my father was MIA for almost a year. And so that was quite a story. And then because we have set up our website, a person in France contacted us, and he saw our website, and what they were doing over there is going to gather material to build a museum to honor people who flew in my father's plane and people who flew in another plane in the same bomb group. And he said that they found a piece of metal of his plane, and this was just last year, and they're going to use that in their museum that they're hoping to create. So that amazed me. I mean, to be able to find that piece of metal. And so that's a little story I wanted to share with you and your readers. So it shows the things. Imagine flying up there, and 50% of the people who served in my dad's group, 50% of them died. They were just shot down. They couldn't survive flying over Germany. So I thought that was quite a story. My family's been here since 1946. And we've seen a lot of things develop. My father was part of developing the Phoenix Indian Center, Native Health, where you are right now, the Nachi thing, that's you guys, and then where they have these homes that have been built. He was part of that. The DiDiazzi, her organization. So my father helped him getting that started. So he was highly involved in the Native community. And he refereed a lot of Native basketball games and started organizing the first Native American tournaments around here because he was a basketball player in Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you both for sharing your family histories and their stories of when they were in war as well. We would love that they served for our country.
We are too. It means a lot to us. Now, my tribe has recognizes warriors, and we have warrior societies. I don't know if they have many of those out here in Arizona, but so this memorial will mean a lot to them. And I just wanted to share that with you. And Max may have a story about Pearl Harbor, the day that Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor.
My dad was in the United States Navy, and he was stationed in Hawaii. He thought he had a pretty good period there because he was put there about 2 months prior to the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Luckily, the day that when Pearl Harbor happened that morning, he was actually out delivering supplies to the other islands there in Hawaii. And when that happened, he had to immediately come back because it was a pretty devastating thing because at that moment, the United States was thrust into World War II. He served out his entire service in the Pacific Theater, and he was always a signalman on the aircraft carriers, and his last service was on the USS Bunker Hill. He spent 12 years in the Navy, and it was a big part of his life, and it certainly was a big part of my life. And it was also, I was very proud to know that my dad was there and helped in the time of our country's needs.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you both, Max and Kent, for sharing that story. So this is really what the American Indian Veterans Memorial is about, is a place for veterans and families to talk to everyone about these stories.
Well, I do want to say that another reason we established at the Steel Indian School Park is that's the city of Phoenix Park now. They operate it, and 280,000 people a year visit that park. And we thought when they're there, they like to walk around and see what's there. And hopefully a lot of them will come to our memorial and see people who are there telling stories and see whatever kind of ceremony or we might have there. And so we just think it's really exciting to let other people know, as we said before, about our warriors and what they did. So I think that means a lot.
Oh yes, definitely. It is a great way to give awareness, especially for individuals who aren't aware about the American Indian veterans and all of their stories. So I think you guys chose the perfect area. Max and Kent, can you remind us again how can our listeners find more information about the American Indian Veterans Memorial Project, and how or who can they contact for further questions?
Okay, we have our website, which is aivmoaz.org, and we also can go through our GoFundMe account there at our website. It will tell you how to contribute. You can follow us on Facebook at aivmoaz.com, or you can contact us at aivmoaz@gmail.com. So you can reach us that way. And we also have a phone number at 480-951-2910, and that you can contact me there. And the other information I would like to tell you is about buying a brick. And you can put 3 lines on the brick, but you can access that again through our website. So we're going to have 400 bricks that we're going to sell, and that'll line the pathway leading up to the top of the circle. And so that's our other way of raising funds and having people get involved.
I would like to thank you both, Max and Kent, for coming on air with us today to tell us more about the American Indian Veterans Memorial Project and how we can get involved. And we look forward to the memorial in 2025.
Again, thank you, Lanasha. We appreciate you and Javier getting us set up to do this because we were looking forward to it. It gives us an opportunity, like you said, to spread the word because we're part of this Native American community. And thank you, Lanasha.
Up next, host Lanasha Puati chats with Milford Calamity. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health's patient enrollment specialist can help you enroll, renew, or update your access information. This can be done in person, on the phone, or via Zoom, days, nights, or weekends. It's fast, easy, and can make a difference in keeping your health care coverage. For more information, call 602-285-9492.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm host Lanasha Puati. Milford Calamity is a self-taught Navajo silversmith who works with sterling silver, copper, gold, turquoise, as well as a variety of exotic stones, and is the owner of Milford Calamity Jewelry. Hello, Milford, and welcome to our show.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me.
Milford, before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I can, actually. My name is Milford Calamity from the Navajo Nation. I've been making jewelry since 2009, and about 15 years. And I always like to consider myself a self-taught artist. I currently live in Albuquerque, but I'm actually from Ganado, Arizona, which is on the Navajo Nation. Yeah, that's what I do. I make jewelry. I've been full time for like about maybe 8 years now, maybe 10 years. So I just make jewelry and sell them at shows.
And kind of starting off with the basic, how did you first get interested in jewelry?
I would say it started with the stories from my dad. My grandmother and their family, distant relatives, they used to make jewelry in the 70s and 60s. There was a time when it kind of stopped in the 80s and 90s. So my grandmother did save some tools from back in the day, and my dad had kept it in the shop, pretty much in the garage, actually, kept it in storage. And he had like these old sand cast patterns, probably saved in like aluminum or lead, but they're originally done in tufa casts, and they have been saved, and he would bring them out every once in a while. So that's what inspired me, actually. I wanted to bring that back. And so, yeah, I had to go through a lot of like challenges to relearn it. I had pretty much learned on my own, actually. I did take a class, but just basic soldering techniques and stuff like that. But the sandcast is something I had to like kind of experiment a lot, and you think about different designs or custom molds to work with.
Oh wow!
But that's what really inspired me. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And did you use those equipment to kind of create the jewelry that you have today?
Yes. I still my first mold I made, I still use, actually. I still use it, but I do order some of the materials online. But yeah, the first tools that I made for the sand casting is something I still use today.
And for our listeners who are not familiar with your work, can you tell us about the different types of design or the different type of jewelry that you make?
Yes, I can. I do make a lot of jewelry from. I do mostly fabricating silver, which means you just buy sheets of silver and wires silver, and you kind of like to build a design for that. I make a lot of rings, bracelets, necklaces, and earrings. Those are pretty much my top main jewelry that I love to make. But there's also other techniques I love to work with too, like sand cast, which is what inspired me to make jewelry, and also that led to like tufa. Tufa is a different technique as well. But there's still so much to learn, though. I still have so much to learn. I'm just kind of like in the beginning process of everything.
And what is sand cast?
Sand cast is a casting technique. You use sand for sure. You use sand, but the sand has to be kind of like a little bit processed. You can add like a little bit of like oil or some kind of like oil is probably best, actually. You make it like clay-like to where it doesn't like dry or stick. You know, it's kind of really malleable, actually. So you can have a pattern, and you kind of like dip it in the sand to where you make a little like pattern in the sand. But it has to stick, so it has to be like clay-like. And then you can have the back part of it. It could be sand, or it could be something like a tufa rock. And then when you recycle your silver, so back in the day, they used to use like gold, not the gold coins, but silver coins, and they would melt that silver and then pour it into that sand cast. So it's pretty much using earth to make it jewelry. So
oh wow!
How that works.
Oh wow, that is amazing. I did not know there was that long of a process to kind of create all of these. And kind of talking about the process of how you make your jewelry, I know you handcraft all of your jewelry from the start. So can you kind of walk us through some of the process it is of designing and making your jewelry?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to start with cutting the turquoise. I do lapidary work, so I do cut my own calves. When I start, I actually find rough turquoise to cut, and depending on the length of it and how durable it is, I will start with earrings. So I'll cut long slabs to make long bangle earrings, and I try to keep a mirror image on it. And so I'll start with turquoise earrings first, and then I will whatever's left over, I will probably save some for like bracelets, and then for rings, and then small little chips, I'll save those for my 4 stone adjustable rings. And so I start with turquoise, and then once I have the turquoise ready, I lay them out, and then pretty much the stone will tell me what it wants to be, if it wants to be a ring or pendant or a necklace, and I can see it when I lay all the turquoise out.
You also work with exotic stones. Can you tell us how the process is with the stones?
Yes, stones, mostly turquoise. I love working with turquoise, but there's different levels of turquoise, there's different grades. You know, you got your natural turquoise, natural meaning that it's not been processed, not been stabilized. It's just the way you dig it from the earth. That's what they mean by natural. So there's nothing's been added to it, no chemicals. It starts with that, but there's different levels of hardness. So the harder the turquoise is, and what it looks like will determine the value. So usually low grade turquoise will be a little bit chalky, soft, and then if you put in water, it starts to crack and break. But high grade will be more like it'll be harder. Then when you cut it, natural will smell like sand. So that's how you can tell between natural process. Process will have like kind of like a chemical scent to it, but natural will have like when it rains, you know, the smell of rain. It smells like that. But yeah, the harder it is, the more valuable it is, and the more natural, I guess, the more value that is. And then there's stabilized. I work with stabilized a little bit too, and it's just finding really good stabilized turquoise, which will bring value to the stone as well.
Oh, wow. So I bet like each of your pieces kind of tell different stories.
Yeah. Yes. Turquoise, a lot of stories of turquoise, especially from where I'm from. Silver have their own prayer and stories as well. And so every piece that you make in turquoise and silver it's gonna be very special. A lot of it means like, you know, protection, blessings, prosperity. Silver, same thing too. They all have the same stories to it.
And how long does it take to design different pieces?
Each piece will be different depending on the complexity of the design. For example, you know, if you're making it like a necklace or a bracelet, you know, you're using a little more materials, and then if you want to add more, you know, like drawings or meaning content to it, that will add some time to it. But if you just make a simple turquoise with a simple bezel and a shank for the ring, you can make that in a couple hours, depending on your experience.
And how would you say that your work kind of gives the feel of a traditional but yet a contemporary creation? Yeah,
the old style, like my dad does a lot of the old style now currently. He's been helping me out for a few years now, but a lot of like twist wire and stamping on the band. But for me, I love to keep that and also add some different ideas, like change it up like a design. Like you can make a 2-finger ring with 3 stones that floats on a couple of shanks and make a 2-finger ring. So it looks more contemporary.
Oh,
and
wow.
You can also do like different techniques. You know, if you know how to do like wax casting or 2-foot cast, which is kind of like a more of a contemporary style, you can add to the old style to kind of blend new and old together.
One of the pieces that you made that I thought was really unique was your dragonfly bracelet. Can you tell us a little bit the story behind that?
Yeah. That's pretty much fabricated actually, but I do mix the turquoise up, so the wings will have different color turquoise, and the body will have different color turquoise, and then you just kind of like add a little wide band, and you know, and then kind of solder together, add some stamping to it. Dragonflies, I love working like figures of like animals or like dragonflies, butterflies. They'll have their own stories too, but yeah, that's one of my inspirations actually. Just copying like things I see around, like new ideas with cats. We're doing that recently, cat designs and dog paws, and yeah, you can go to a lot of places with design. Actually.
Oh, wow. And I know all of your work is really unique. Have you won any awards?
Jury shows, I've actually won at a couple of shows I've done in the past. Idol George in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a jury show. I won an award for a Bogart there. and also flag staff at the museum show there at Flag back in the day. I also won an award there. But that's something I would love to do in the future. I'm not really focused on that currently. I just been kind of like I feel like I'm still kind of learning still. But I do want to start competing soon.
Wow. And is there other mediums that you kind of want to try out or go into in the future?
Yeah, actually, I do want to get into more gold, actually, and maybe start getting better at inlay. But I would love to get into a gold work and working with maybe much more high-grade turquoise as well. But I do have a background in painting, so I'm kind of thinking about maybe blending the two together somehow. But there's so many ways. There's so many things, honestly.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. I know you could probably come up with a very unique creation behind both of those areas. But I was also looking at your logo that you've created. Is there any backstory to your logo?
Yes, the logo is actually Calamity is my last name. And we have a friend that does a lot of logo designs, and we commissioned that out. But when she came back with this one, I really like this because of the M. It's kind of like a reverse M, but it's bigger than the Calamity. And I liked it because that M represents my first name, M for Milford, and then Calamity is kind of like in the background. But what I really do like about the M is that it looks like mountains, which I do like to use on my designs. And yeah, it's just something unique, and it just popped.
Oh yes, definitely, and it kind of looks like a butterfly. So that is so awesome.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about the Indian craft shop where your work is carried?
The U.S. Department of Interior, which is in Washington D.C., and yeah, they've been carrying my jewelry for about maybe a year now. Actually, I met them last year, and they have some of my pieces. It's a shop that they have in their department. Also, I do have a friend of mine. His name is Marco Aviso. He has a shop in Window Rock. He keeps a few of my pieces at his store there, and he just opened up a new shop in Santa Fe called the Net and Company, which is in Santa Fe. Yeah, that's just opened up this year actually. So he's gonna be carrying some of my pieces there too.
Oh, wow, that is awesome. And do you have a favorite collection or design that you've created?
You know what? I do love to work with spider theme, spider designs. I think one of my favorites to make are spider earrings and then also spider rings. I've made a few spider necklaces as well. Those are my favorite. I just love that because I do to honor, honestly, Spider Woman, which is a traditional stories. Spider Woman is like a teacher who taught the Navajo people how to weave rugs. So that's why I like to work with spiders. A lot of my work.
Milford, where can our listeners find more information about your work, and how can they contact you if they have further questions?
Yeah, I would say go to my website, milfordcalamity.com. That's going to have my bio, my shows, my shop page. You can see some new designs that I have up there. And it's going to have my information, email, phone number. Or you can go to Instagram at Milford Calamity. That should have my shows. And you can message me there. You can contact me there. And also my email, which is info@milfordcalamity.com. That's a good way to contact me.
Perfect. Well, I'd like to thank you, Milford, for coming on air today to tell us about your amazing journey on how you've started your company and also the unique handmaking you do for each piece that you make.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. This is humbling, and yes, and thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Native Talk Arizona, supported by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. Audio editing by Javier Quiroga, and the executive producer is Susan Levy. And I'm host Lanasha Pawadi. We hope you tune in again next week if you have any questions please email us at nativetalkaz@radiophoenix.org.